I went to the barber with my 3-year-old, and I told the barber not to shave off all his hair because every other haircut had just been shaving off his hair because that's what they do for fidgety 3-year-olds. But I thought, oh, he's 3, maybe he's mature, please leave a little hair. And the barber, who was, you know, Jamaican, my parents are Ghanaian, started shaving off all his hair. And when I said, why are you shaving off all his hair? I told you not to shave off his hair. He said, you have a real N-word right here. This is not pretty hair. This is the best cut for him. And I just felt like physically sick. I didn't say anything at the time, and I later wrote an Atlantic article about why we should kind of have the courage to be impolite, you know, and to state our case at the time. But at the time, I think I was just so arrested by the situation that I didn't say anything. But, you know, in the days afterwards, I felt very sick about it. And I was watching Joan Rivers, and Joan Rivers made a comment about Solange Knowles with an afro saying, I like afros just as much as anyone else, but how could you wear one to the red carpet? And so the sickness was like continuing. And so I was reading a marketing book for my other company, which is a shoe company called Joojos. And in the marketing book it said, if you ever want to state a lesson, it's best to put it in a story. And I'm like, but how am I going to, you know, write a story? I'm like a critical writer, not a creative writer. So then I'm watching OWN, you know, Super Soul Sunday, and this thinker on OWN said that prayer and art are no different from each other. And I said, prayer and art are no different? So then I started praying. I said, okay, can you give me a story? Okay, universe, source, God, Lord, whatever you want to call it, kindly give me a story. And so, you know, the story came to me. And then I wrote it down, and I did a Kickstarter campaign, and my friends were very generous, and people were very generous, and I raised $12,000 to print the first edition of the book and to have it illustrated in the graphic design, and that was like 3 weeks ago, and this is my first time telling the story at a bookstore, so thank you very much, Bank Street, for providing this opportunity. I do appreciate all of those hair stories which are affirmations, but I kind of wanted to do something different, which was not just an affirmation of African hair or, you know, afro-textured hair, because I don't really think it's about that. I think it's about having the power and the courage and the daringness to look different, to be different, to think different, and to create a society in which we accept that and we admire that and we promote that and we don't bully people because of that. So I say this story, you know, I love for all afro-textured children to have the hair, have the story, all children with afro-textured hair, but it's not about that. It's about being different. So I want all children, whether they have straight hair, whatever it is, to also have the story. If Water had destroyed Water's body in some way, then we would have been missing the water and we would have been in the same horrible predicament. So it's not about the hair. It's just about the power, the courage to dare to be different and to walk in your own truth. And when you have that courage and you dare in that way, I think the world becomes a better place, because then we can all benefit from the gifts that you have. And so that's the point of it, and that's why it's a story that I really feel is for everybody. I really think it is very strongly that it's a global story for everyone to enjoy, and I really, hope that children of all races, religions, talents will gravitate towards it.